Hi everybody, my name is Yvonne Crutchfield and thank you so much for joining in for the kickoff of my first culinary nutrition workshop. So this workshop is all about nerve pain and nerve health, specifically peripheral neuropathy. The reason why I chose this subject is because it's near and dear to me because my husband and my mother both suffer from this exact same condition. And not only that, but time and time again, I hear people suffering with nerve pain, whether it's from anxiety in their nervous system with that, or physical pain like sciatica, or tingling and numbness in the legs. So what I'm going to go over first is juicing. The reason why I picked juicing is because of my own personal journey. I actually have an autoimmune condition, and that autoimmune condition comes out as a cold allergy. It's really weird. It's called cold urticaria, but I break out in hives and it itches and it's terrible. So when I met my, at the time, boyfriend, now husband, I told him about this condition and he told me about a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So we watched that. I had no idea about juicing or health or any of that, so it was bizarre to me. But I noticed that this guy actually had the same condition as me. So I decided, why not? I'm gonna give it a try. So I tried it out for 2 weeks and lo and behold, my autoimmune disease went away. I didn't get my hives at all. It used to be so bad when I would wash dishes, I would get it. So I tried it out, it was great. Then I go back to normal eating and I get it right back again. So I go back to the juicing and I know I can't sustain juicing forever. So I ended up juicing again, it went away, ate, and it came down to that it was celiac. It was the gluten. The gluten was actually the trigger to my autoimmune and my cold allergy. So that was actually getting on my nerves. But so that actually got me started in this whole nutrition world. So I want to share with you juice for that reason too. So the ingredients that I actually am using for this nerve health juice, every single ingredient that's used actually promotes health and restoration of those nerves. So first of all, we're using apple. I love apple. It's like my favorite snack. But apple has an antioxidant that actually protects the nerve cells from free radical damage. So it's really great for preventative. And once you get those nerves restored, then to prevent that from getting any more damage. So I love apples. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to chop these apples into thin little layers. Ooh. So the reason why I am cutting these into thin layers is because I actually have a slow juicer. This is called a masticating juicer. This is actually my favorite. I love this thing. I can't live without it. I used to have a regular centrifuge, one that actually moves fast, and that's the most common, and that's a great juicer. But I graduated up a step up higher because I want to maintain all those nutrients inside every single food, vegetable, everything that I put in here. So that's why I got this one here. It's an omega. So cut these up, and next we have romaine. So I really love romaine because it's really mild. So this is a really good introductory vegetable to add into juices. And you know, not a lot of people have had juices before, so this one you can mix and match, and it's so watery, and I love it. So the benefits of romaine is that it has magnesium, and magnesium promotes restoration of the tissue. So first of all, we want to protect that, so we want to start restoring all the damage that's been happening. So this will help with that. So another benefit for the juicer is that whenever you do the juices, it goes straight to your bloodstream and you're getting all those awesome nutrients. And this actually brings up a really good subject for me, the conventional versus organic. I know you guys have all heard it before, but it's really important, especially when you're doing things like juices, juices, salads, all of that, because there's so many chemicals and pesticides in conventional foods. Just a little tip here that I've actually learned through all my studies is that when you go to the market and you see a sticker on there, if you look at it and there's a 3, that actually means that it's a conventional grown produce. And if it's a 9, it's organic. So there's a little tip there that you can keep in your back pocket. Another really good tip whenever you're looking for foods is you want them to be firm, and you also want to make sure that they're non-GMO. So those are genetically modified organisms that actually disrupt the gut and disrupts the nervous system. And also, there's a list called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind. The Clean 15 are conventional foods that are okay to get not organic. And then on the other end of that, the Dirty Dozen are ones that are filled with pesticides that you want to avoid and get that in organic as much as possible. The reason why this is important for nerve health specifically is because chemicals, especially the pesticides, are a known trigger for peripheral neuropathy. So that brings me to my next one is lime. So lime is awesome. It's very high in vitamin C, and it also has potassium. Whoop! There goes my lime. So it also has potassium, and there's a phytochemical in there that's alkalizing, and that's really great for immune building and detoxing the body. And we really want to detox that body of all those chemicals that putting stress and causing that nerve pain. I'll go to another one. So the next ingredient is pineapple. It smells so good. So pineapple is great because it has an enzyme called bromelain. And bromelain is really important to the nerves because it's very calming. It's calming and it has anti-inflammatory properties. So the reason why I picked these 2 sweeteners is also for that introductory level of juicing where it's not too sweet, but also it has some nice veggies in it. The next ingredient that we're going to use is mint. So I have fresh mint. I'm going to use a couple sprigs of this in my juice. But it reminds me of my childhood. I grew up in the mountains in New Mexico and we used to grow mint there. But I love mint so much because I love its properties that can stop nerve pain. You'll see a lot of ointments and lotions, and there's a specific essential oil and lotion combination that I really love that has peppermint in it and is so soothing. So that's a really great one. And I also want to go with the theme of Las Vegas, and it gets really hot here, so this is a nice uplifting juice. So just a minute, let me grab my of the lime. Ta-da! So, alright, so here's our lime here. I went ahead and pre-cut some apples so that way it'll go a lot quicker for you. And what I'll do is I'll juice a little bit and I will let you taste it. So I'm just going to cut 2 wedges here that I like. This is actually an organic lime, and I've already pre-washed these. So I want to keep the peel on. Sometimes you want to take the peel off. I do know one time I tried to use a peel on a lemon before, and it actually snapped. This thing broken. So just a little tidbit. You can take that off, but I like to keep it on there. I scrubbed it really well, so it's clean. I just want to get as many nutrients as possible. So I also have a little steeper right here too. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. First, I'm gonna do my apples. And like I said, this thing's a little bit slower than the other kind, which the other kind are also really great. And the fast-moving ones, centrifuge ones, are great because you can stick like a whole apple in there. All right, so I like to mix up my fruits and veggies a little bit just to get it all mixed up in there really nice. And this recipe is actually in your notes that I have provided for you. And on the back of those notes, there's a chart that has every single ingredient that I'm using in this workshop, and it tells you the benefits for nerve health. So please take a look at that and use that. Use that when you go grocery shopping. Okay, so here's a little tip for you. So the juicer's actually getting, see how it's kind of building up? Let's see if you can see this here. So it's building up here. So the way that I like to get that out is just by using leafy greens, and sometimes the citrus will actually push that all down. So that's another reason why I like to mix them up a little bit. The juicing is also really great because you can't, you can, but it's really hard to consume so many apples and so many limes and lettuce and just different kinds of vegetables. It's hard to consume all of that. So when you're making it in a juice, you can really compact a lot into just a tiny, really powerful immune boosting juice. So this one's great for so many reasons. Not only is it delicious for the mind and happiness, but for those nerves. All right. Done here, so it's getting stuck again, so you want to go ahead and stick some more greens and flush it out. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple sprigs of this yummy mint. And you can add as much mint as you want. You can add more if you want more of a little uplifting. Just stick that whole thing in there. And another thing of pineapple. So this seems like a really good combination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour this into the cup and then let you have a try of it. I'll go ahead and pour a little bit in each cup and let you try it. And if you love it, then I can make a whole bigger batch and then we can do that. So here's another little tip here. You see there's a lot of stuff juice in there. I actually like to put some water in there and clean it out just a little bit. So the good thing about this juicer too is it's super easy to clean. Just like open it and move it. And there you go. You can move that right out of the way. So you can see here, it actually got a lot of the pulp out, and that's really good if you're especially on a healing diet and you want to avoid having all that fiber in there. I know my husband just got out of the hospital from having nerve pain, actually got surgery from it, and he couldn't have fiber, so he was on a liquid diet for a little bit. So juices came in really handy because I understand the powers that these things have. All right, so let's see. This cup is awesome. Juice worth the squeeze completely. Hopefully you don't spill this. Oh, it's perfect. Nice. So with the remaining lime, this is more for mindful serving. You can cut a little piece of the lime and garnish it. So when you're making this for your family and friends, it's always nice to present it really nice. So you could do that. You can even put a sprig of mint, and there you go. Here's your first juice. And I hope you enjoy it, and I really hope that you enjoy the rest of this entire workshop. We have so much to go over. We have desserts. We have an awesome main dish that's mushrooms with sweet potato mash with scallops on top, and we have spinach with pine nuts, and then we have a smoothie and our garnishing bar. So I'm really excited to share all of this with you, and I hope that you can incorporate these into your own diet. So here you go. Cheers.